hello. I've arrived. Hello came out a little bit weird there, but you know, it is what it is. Anyway, so, today. There we go. Today, Legend of Zelda. Not at 10 p.m. because I am a fool. I am a fool who consistently makes the exact same mistake on the schedule. But yes, so we are playing today The Legend of Zelda at 10 a.m., not 10 p.m. We're gonna try and get sort of the focus for today, I guess, is we're going to try and clear out some more labyrinths so we can get some more items, so that we can get some more items, basically. I want to see, yeah, there's a lot out in the sort of wide world of The Legend of Zelda that I am not sure, you know, there's a lot of secrets so far that are probably out there that I'm pretty sure that we don't have the means to acquire just yet. So, I hope to change that. Because yeah, at the moment, you know, we've got the red ring that we need to get that we have no idea where it is. We've got the power bracelet that will probably be useful for something. I remember the existence of the magic rod and the magic book and all that. I don't remember what they do, or what the manual said that they did anyway. But yeah, so what am I trying to say here? Okay, point is, we're looking to get some more items so that we can get some more items so that we can finish off the game with a pretty reasonable amount of stuff completed. I would like to get all the items, at least. It seems pretty achievable. I'm not going to get too hung up on that, because we are still needing to get to Super Metroid, or normal Metroid, not Super Metroid, just Metroid. We are going to need to get to that in a not too long... I mean, we're definitely not going to beat... almost certainly, unless I'm very good at Metroid. But yeah, we're probably not going to beat it in time for the anniversary, which I was hoping for originally. Quite frankly, I expected that I'd be, like, you know, part of the way through Metroid by this point, but, such is life. Anyway, I think I got distracted because we were talking about the schedule. I don't think I talked about tomorrow. So, today, 10 a.m., The Legend of Zelda. Tomorrow, 10 a.m., The Legend of Zelda. And that should be that for this week. Yeah, so next week, we should be playing Monday through Friday instead of Tuesday through Saturday. Yeah, we can expect some more Borderlands 3 on Tuesday. We will continue playing The Legend of Zelda until we've beaten it, and then we will move on to Metroid. I keep wanting to say Super Metroid. I think because I sort of got used to saying Super Mario Brothers. It's a good thing that I didn't play Metroid immediately after Super Mario Brothers, because if so, I would refer to it as nothing but Super Metroid, I'm sure. But yes, so, all that said, it is about time for us to, or well, it is time for us to get started, I guess. There's no about it. Whoops. Alright, there we go. Alright, we've got our sound on and everything. I'm still very concerned with regards to sound. I noticed, I think last stream or a couple streams ago, right. I forgot the situation we were in, and I forgot that I was going to go get, like, medicine and whatnot to help us, and also a shield. Yeah, I was going to do that off-screen, but it looks like we're doing that on-screen instead, so... Wizrobes aren't too difficult to defeat, I suppose. If I get the boss Wizrobe, at least I can... Oh, right. They've been defeated, so they're not going to come back. If I get the boss Wizrobe, at least I can, you know, get all the rest of the Wizrobes in the room in sort of one fell swoop. Right, I was thinking that there was, like, a room with Pole's voices over there, but that's level 5, I think. And so yeah, so no more magic shield since it got eaten by a like. So we are in a pretty bad way here in Lionel territory. We're also pretty low on health, which definitely doesn't help also. Fortunately, it shouldn't be too hard to get back to level 5. I don't remember the precise route, but I know where it is relative to our current location, broadly speaking. But yes, my dog has decided to join us again today. Quick dog update for those who are invested. I mentioned a while back that she's been having some issues with joint pain and sort of some anxiety. So yeah, we took her to the vet, and it's looking, or rather, yeah, it looks like she does in fact have some arthritis, like we had suspected. Arthritis and anxiety. I feel like I might have talked about this on stream, but I don't remember. So I'm going to talk about it again, just in case. But yes, anyway. That Tektite really didn't want to be struck, which is fair. Alright, we're just gonna leave you to your own devices, I suppose. But yes, so, we've got some medicine for her. As of right now, we have just been prescribed for my dog, essentially just anxiety medicine, because the arthritis medicine apparently can be quite tough on their livers and whatnot. So, as it was described to me, that is something that we would only use if she was like having real trouble like walking and such. In the past, these Pols voices have been a great source of rupees, but today they're quite stingy. I guess we've only been in here once, maybe they haven't had time to find their wallets yet. At least the lever is happy to contribute. But yeah, I definitely want the magic shield as our sort of highest priority. Ultimately, we will need the magic shield and some medicine, or at least we would be well served by getting both. But if I had to pick one, and hopefully I won't need to just pick one, but if I did have to pick just one, I would definitely pick the magic shield. But yes, anyway, dog's doing pretty good. She's feeling alright. She's still a little bit anxious here and there, but the medicine has helped. She had a different medication beforehand, but she was really out of sorts after taking it, so we got her a different one. And this one presumably is milder because we were advised that the battery in my Switch controller is low. Alright, I should do something about that. Give me a second. Alright, hold on a sec. Can we... No, we can't change the controllers from here, it doesn't look like. Alright, hold on. Oops. Just these two. I could, of course, play this game on just one controller, but I don't want to do that. So I won't. And these other ones we'll set aside for the minute, and we'll charge them later. You know, I actually did check the battery of my controllers before I started stream today, and I thought, it's low, but I'm sure it'll work. And I probably could have gotten some more time out of it, but I don't want to take the risk if I can avoid it. But yeah, anyway, so dog medicine. I think it was like a few weeks, I don't remember precisely how many, before we can expect her to just sort of be at a level mood all the time, or back to a more normal mood all the time, I should say. But yeah, for now, she's a lot better than she was before. She still has sort of a little surges of anxiety here and there, but she's doing pretty well. She's sitting calmly at my feet instead of walking or pacing around the room and trying to climb basically everything and hide behind things. But yeah, in other news, we've also had some issues with plumbing recently, and one of my housemates is currently downstairs cleaning up after the flooding. Well, flooding's a strong word. The backflow, I guess? It was... yeah, it was not good. It was not good. But yeah, let's think. Anything else exciting? That's a perhaps a strange word to use for the concept that I'm thinking of, but for the concept that I was just describing. But anything else novel, I guess. I don't know. I'm pretty short of excitement. Pretty short of excitement a lot of the time. I almost feel like, since they're certainly not guaranteed to drop rupees. So I almost feel like if there's just like one Pole's voice left in a room, it might just be best to just leave and come back later. Because, you know, I want to maximize our profits to minimize the amount of time that we have to minimize the amount of time that we have to spend here. So if we can't, like, hit multiple Pole's voices with one arrow, then that's going to eat into our profit somewhat, because there we didn't even make a profit, we just barely broke even. Of course we could just, you know, hit them with our sword, but I don't want to do that. I'm not entirely sure if it is possible to defeat a like or a Pole's voice with just your sword. You can definitely defeat a like with just your sword. Alright, that was no Pole's voices with one arrow. Okay, so yes, you can defeat them with just your sword. I go and I do that immediately after saying how I didn't want to do that. Well, it's not fast, per se. It's not as fast as the arrows, but it could potentially be more efficient. Thrilling gameplay. But yeah, we're gonna need a lot more rupees after this first 120, because we're going to need to get some medicine to deal with level 6. Some human medicine, not dog medicine. Whoops. Alright, now we're operating at a loss again. At least from this first incursion into the dungeon. Or this most recent incursion into the dungeon. Pole's voices do quite a lot of damage, huh? Because yeah, they do a full heart of damage, actually, I'm just realizing. I think, didn't they show up in some earlier dungeons too? That would have been rough. I guess you can get the blue ring at basically any time after you acquire bombs, I think. So, I guess it is sort of an interesting thing how there's not a very, a not super strongly defined sort of progression curve in this game. You know, most things are optional. Most things are optional for just in general. But beyond that, even beyond that, a lot of things you really need to sort of go out of your way to find. The game doesn't necessarily expect that you will have the whatever ring. It's probably, I don't know, it doesn't, maybe not expect is the wrong turn of phrase. It doesn't demand that you have such and such upgrade. There is no point where you have to really get close to a particular upgrade, close enough that it would be harder for you to avoid it than it would be for you to get it, as it is in a lot of games. Or at least require you to go out of your way to avoid getting it, as is the case in a lot of games, with optional or theoretically optional upgrades. Yeah, I don't remember if medicine is 68 or 58, but probably it would be best to work under the assumption that it is the higher price. Because we don't want to go all the way to the medicine cellar, realize we don't have enough for medicine, and have to come back here and kill some more Pulse Voices. Yeah, it is always interesting to sort of observe what things sort of carried over from into later Legend of Zelda games and which ones didn't. Like the Armos statues, sort of just everywhere outside of a dungeon. I was gonna say I don't know if Armos statue or if Armos spawn outside of dungeons in any later games, which may or may not be true. Well, I was going to say, I said I don't know. I didn't say that they don't, so me saying that I don't know something is true, because I do not know it. I know that you can get rupees by shooting arrows at them, but I think I'd be better served by just using my boomerang. It may have been slightly faster to use the arrows, but, you know, we're not in any hurry. Minimizing the number of potential trips we have to make is probably going to save more time in the long run than just, you know, one, because yeah, it's not like we have a super tight rupee route or anything. Any sort of guarantee that we'll have a certain amount by a certain time. Yeah, for some reason I expected that the Pulse Voices would be a lot harder to defeat. And maybe they are, if you, I say that they're not very hard to defeat, and then I'm, at 1 heart. But yeah, maybe they are harder to defeat, if you don't have... I mean, they're definitely harder to defeat if you don't have the tunic or the blue ring. I guess that doesn't make them harder to defeat, it just makes them more likely to defeat you. But you get the point I'm trying to make, I hope. I guess if we're not using the arrows, the bow, perhaps, rather, we could at least... Oh, okay, so no, they are completely invulnerable to the boomerang. That's fair. But yeah, I guess to summarize the thought that I was having earlier, I felt like a creature that has sort of an enemy that has a weakness that is a one-hit kill on them would probably mean that without it they would be very, very punishing and very, very hard to defeat. But I guess that doesn't necessarily hold true. Creatures that are hard to get rid of are usually not as powerful as the easier to defeat ones. Or at least, assuming that they both are around the same sort of general area of the difficulty curve of a game. And again, there's a lot of, I'm making a lot of assumptions about this game based on the way that later games, both in the series and just in the history of time, work, which I probably shouldn't be. This is of no concern to us. I was hoping that I could get a 2-for-1 there. But at least we did recoup the cost of the arrows that we had to shoot. I was gonna say, I don't know if the Pole's voices drop bombs, but it seems like they don't, because they haven't in the entire time that we've been in here. They've dropped basically everything else that they could. They've dropped fairies, rupees, clocks, but no bombs. I guess they haven't dropped keys either, and we've seen other enemies drop keys, so they can't drop everything that enemies drop other than bombs. Or at least, we haven't seen these ones drop keys. We might have seen some other ones drop keys, I don't remember. But yes, and in case anyone is wondering, I am still planning on doing the little sort of tutorial about using different audio channels on OBS. Oh dear. This again means very little to us. As long as we, die in the dungeon, it's not a huge inconvenience. It is definitely still an inconvenience, to be sure. But it's not the worst one. There we go. It almost seems like hitting multiple of them makes them more likely to drop things. I don't know, it might just be... I don't know, it might just be completely random and I'm just seeing patterns where none exist. But yeah, I think it's either 58 or 68 for the medicine. I had thought at one point that it was 78, but I'm pretty sure that was an incorrect assumption. It seems almost like it's less that hitting multiple of them at a time causes them to be more likely to drop things. Or at least hitting multiple of them with the same arrow. And it seems more like almost they just are more likely to drop things at certain times than others. Which, I have absolutely no familiarity with how this game's RNG works, so that could very well be true. And I have no way of verifying it or disproving it. But I suppose, if the numbers are completely random, there would probably be, sort of clumps of numbers that do produce given results here and there. Something that's 1% likely to happen can still happen 100 times in a row, and that doesn't impact that doesn't impact the chances of it happening, the next 100 times. It may or may not happen. A lot of people sort of see probability as being a lot more deterministic than it really is. Seeing like, this has a 10% chance of happening, so clearly, if I do this thing 10 times, then I will get this result once, probably. Maybe a little bit more than that. Maybe I won't get it at all. But they, expect. They expect that if you do something 10 times and it has a 10% chance to produce a certain reaction, that reaction is very likely to happen. But it's really, it's just more likely to happen the more you do it. It's not, bound to happen if you perform the action 10 times. It's not bound to happen if you perform the action 100 times. Again, it is increasingly unlikely that it won't happen the more you perform that given action. But it is never guaranteed. That is simply the nature of probabilities. No matter how unlikely something is, as long as there's a random chance of it happening, you can never discount it. I am definitely suspecting that that hitting Pole's voices with arrows does impact the drop rate to some extent, though. It might just be my brain is sort of getting confused a little bit, because when I defeat them with arrows, you know, I can clear the room faster and get back in faster, and start another cycle once again faster. Whereas when I just use my sword, it takes a lot longer, and I am more likely to lose health, and all that. So it just sort of feels like each trip where I don't use arrows is less profitable than than trips where I do use arrows. Of course, there is also the possibility that the game does in some way keep track of whether or not you're taking damage as part of a mechanic, or as part of the drop mechanics. I think that might actually be true, come to think of it. I think I don't know. I think I might have heard about that, or something to that effect in like a speed run or something. I was watching a speed run and the commentary mentioned that, I think. But yeah, so it's either, as per my recollection, it's either 58 or 68. So, let's see. We've got 95. So I think if it's 68, we'd want another 5 rupees at least. I don't know why I said at least. We would need exactly 5 rupees, but you know. But yeah, it might just be the not getting hit part that is the important factor in determining whether or not I get drops and what drops I do get. But yeah, I guess of all the possibilities that I've put forth so far, such as that it is more likely to get drops. Alright, that's what we need. That it is more likely to get drops if we hit multiple Pole's voices with a single arrow, or that it is based on using arrows at all versus not using arrows. I feel, and I guess, you know, the other possibility that I put forward, that it's based on not getting hit. Of all of those, I feel like the not getting hit is the most likely. Not to completely discount all the other options, because we can't. I do not have any knowledge of the game's code or its RNG. Just vague recollections of things that may or may not have been said by someone at some point. Alright, this guy has kind of an overpriced shield, but we can make up the difference, I'm sure. Of course, we do also need to find the medicine seller. I don't know where she is, actually, come to think of it. So maybe that's a little bit more important than... Do you sell medicine? Is there a person here? Yes, yes you do. Oh, and we have just enough, actually. Oh, wait. Oh yeah, I did the math wrong. Oh. You know, I feel like I used to be, whoops, a lot better at mental math, but then, like, for, back when I did mental math pretty much exclusively, then, like, you know, for classes and stuff, I had to start, you know, writing out my thought process, and, when I started doing that, I feel like I became a lot worse at math, or at least a lot worse at like, just performing math in my head. I guess it's just, you know, you get worse at anything that you don't do. So, or at least, you get out of practice. You don't necessarily get worse, I guess. Depends on what it is and how long you refrain from doing it. Okay, I think I've noted before that sometimes a Wizrobe will appear less flickery than other Wizrobes. And for a while I thought that that was the mark that it was a boss Wizrobe. But I think that actually that's just the result of there being like two Wizrobes sort of overlapping each other. Because yeah, I saw a Wizrobe that didn't flicker like the other ones did, but when I defeated it, there was still, like, one there. So presumably that's what happened. I definitely could be a lot better off in terms of health, but we're gonna persevere. We're gonna persevere and we're gonna be careful. The biggest threat here are probably just the blue Wizrobes, who can simply walk. That is the great threat that they pose to us. They can walk. But yeah, the bubble can't hurt us. The like-likes are a massive inconvenience, but they're not a huge threat. And I think we can use our boomerang on them. We can't stun the Wizrobes with the boomerang, but we can stun the like-likes at least. Right, I was gonna say, do we need to like defeat the bubble? But no, we just need to push a block. I was gonna say, I don't think I was in a position to get hit by that Wizrobe, but I guess we were, suffering the curse of our slightly unusual hitbox. Whoops. We're gonna be proactive here. I don't want to be too stingy with my heals. I don't feel like the bomb is a great choice. Well, we just took some damage there. Mediocre showing, but it is what it is. Alright. Have we been up here? I'm pretty sure we've been through the... Oh, hi. Are you... Oh, I can't remember if this is Aquamentus or Gleeok. Oh, we can't block your projectiles with a shield. That's something to keep in mind. That ride was just a bit too, excited. I got a bit too excited. Oh dear, there we go. And was just using my sword too much to even block anything at all. Alright, this room has no massive threats. I say as a like gets very dangerously close to me. There we go. Yeah, being on a ladder is really the safest place to be. We cannot be meaningfully attacked while we're on a ladder. I don't think. Oh. Well, this room doesn't seem to have an immediate connection to any other room, but it seems significant regardless. Oh, okay. Okay. We're very in danger here. So, let's fix that. Cool, alright. I don't know if bombs are a good choice for the blue Wizrobes especially. They do take damage from them, but they don't, like, stand still very much. There we go. I knew that there was probably something significant in this room. Ah, here we go. So this is the magic rod, then. I was still kind of hoping for the power bracelet. But I certainly won't say no. Interesting how the dungeon music sort of restarted. Okay, so yeah, it doesn't matter necessarily which direction you push one of these blocks in. I'd always assumed that you needed to go one way or another, but it seems that that might not be the case. Okay, this isn't too bad. So yeah, there's only one usable item that we're missing at this point. Ooh, I definitely like the magic rod. It's not the strongest thing in the world. It's probably not even as strong as the arrows, but it doesn't cost anything to use. Oh. Alright, it seems that the Wizrobes are immune to it, though, if I'm interpreting that sound correctly. Are they immune to arrows, actually? I don't know if we've tested that. Well, they're definitely immune to arrows when they're immune to everything, when they're not fully present in the world physically. But yes, it would seem that they are in fact immune to arrows. By virtue of just simply not getting hit by them, I guess. There we go. Yeah, it's interesting how many... I don't know, this is sort of a note that I wanted to save for if I decided to play Breath of the Wild in the future, but that will probably... If we do play Breath of the Wild, which I will not guarantee. Not anything against it, I just don't know if... Well, we are planning on it, but it... Yeah, like, okay, so they do... I was wondering, because yeah, they do seem to prefer to shoot at you if they are, you know, in a position where they could conceivably hit you. Very smart, these Wizrobes. But yes, I, on the other hand, am in a great deal of danger, so I need to start playing a bit smarter. But yeah, this is a bit slower than the arrows as well. You can only have one magic projectile on the screen at a time. But it is, you know, unlimited range, unlimited use. You getting there, girl? Yeah, she hasn't fallen over or anything like she has a few times. She's just, yeah, definitely no effect. Alright, we're in a bad way, so let's maybe, vacate. Why are you walking all over the place and stepping all over everything, huh? I don't like having this many keys on screen. This is kind of bad. Kind of bad, perhaps, even. There we go. I wonder if I can bomb any of these walls. I guess the only one that we might get some benefit out of would be bombing this left one. Well, I guess we can't see if we bombed the wall or anything until we turn on the lights, so let's do that. Okay, no. Whoops. But yes, just the ability to move is makes you a pretty tangible threat. So yeah, I do wonder if the magic rod gives us any, like, real tangible benefit. Other than being, again, an unlimited use ranged weapon. Do anything? Aim at the eyes of Goma. Useful information, but information we already have. But yeah, anyway, so what I was getting at was like sort of the stasis power-up. Or the, I guess, you know, the watch in this game. Which, I feel like is where sort of the... That was a bad way to be. I probably could have maybe defeated that other Wizrove and, cleared some space for myself. Why are you digging into my stuff, dog? What you digging for? But yeah, do not let yourself get cornered. Anyway, so, the stasis power-up, the stasis rune, rather. I'd always assumed that it was just sort of a... Oh, hold on a sec. Alright, the cleanup is done, so now I can do laundry. I might actually do that real quick, because I do need to get that done. Ideally, I would like to do laundry before I go to work. I will survive, I guess, if I don't, but... Alright, we're going to... we're going to take a short laundry break. Be right back. Oops, don't unpause, that's a bad time to unpause. There we go. But yeah. Alright, be right back. Alright, we're back. I've returned. But yeah, so, laundry room is now clean and usable for laundry again. I guess, you know, not laundry room specifically, but, you know, basement room where laundry, among other things, is done. But yeah, apparently the sort of blockage in the pipes that caused the issue was, whoop, there we go. Like, apparently it was because of, like, tree roots growing into the pipes, which is not a thing that I knew could happen. I didn't think tree roots would be very interested in pipes, to be honest, but you learn something new every day. Yeah, when I come from, we don't have a whole lot of tree roots. We've got a lot of pipes, but not a lot of tree roots. At least not ones that are growing. Alright, these wizrobes are a real pain. You've got to learn how to deal with them more effectively. I'm trying to think, what usable item could we be missing? I'm making a deliberate choice to not consult the manual right now, because it would, this is not super relevant, and it would probably end up eating up a significant amount of time, me searching for the next item, when I really don't need to. There we go. And there we go. I guess the wizrobes don't drop bombs, like, often, but they do so often enough that I guess I could probably afford to use them here and there. Especially in the rooms with the blue wizrobes. I feel like the boomerang's probably a little bit more useful for dealing with bats, or keys rather, since it can go diagonally. And, you know, hit them on the way out and on the way back. Oh dear. Stuck between a rock and a hard place there again. Oh dear. Wait, did that wizrobe just do, like, 2 damage to me? Do they do 2 damage? I thought they only did 1. Or, I guess 1 heart, I should say. Well, I guess I'm not eager to test it right now. Honestly, I should probably, like, not be here right now with my 1 heart. I would probably be a little bit better served by going somewhere else and doing something else for a minute or 2. But on the other hand, this is a decent way to get rupees, being in the dungeon, with relatively low risk. You know, dying anywhere is less than ideal, but if we die in the dungeon, at least, or in the labyrinth, rather, if we die in a labyrinth, at least, we'll just be at the start of the labyrinth again. We won't have to walk all the way from the start of the map back over to here. Granted, if we did that, we'd have opportunity to stop by the fairy fountain, and thus receive a full heal. Which we could go for. Yeah, something that I noticed just recently. I think I noticed it last stream and I just never mentioned it, but or I guess I should say last Legend of Zelda stream. That wizrobe just wasn't feeling it today, huh? Just facing the wall, not shooting anyone. We have established that there are monsters who do not wish to fight, so it could be that particular wizrobe was one of them. Unfortunately, he didn't decide to set up shop somewhere, handing out rupees to anyone who would be so inclined as to not murder him. So, unfortunately, he did not get to live out his days in peace. What was I talking about? I was saying something. Oh yeah. Traveling, you know, across the land to and from this dungeon. Or I guess to this dungeon. Just to get a chance to fully heal ourselves. Honestly, might not be the worst idea. If we get up to, you know, enough rupees to purchase another couple of doses of medicine, and we haven't, interesting. But yeah, I don't need to be too afraid of the bubbles, because they can't hurt me. They can inconvenience me for sure, but they can't hurt me. Yeah, we definitely could be playing this a lot more efficiently, though. Alright, I think, you know what, I'm just gonna test it. Okay, yeah. So Wizro projectiles do, in fact, do 2 hearts of damage. I was wondering if maybe it wasn't, like, supposed to necessarily, and maybe instead it was like, we were being hit by 2 projectiles at once because the Wizrobes were overlapping. But no, it does in fact appear that they do intentionally do 2 damage. Or 2 hearts, I should say. Alright, and hunt down the boss guinea. Or perhaps get hunted down by the boss guinea. Is that not the right guinea? That might not have been the right guinea. Alright, eyes on the prize. Right. Hitboxes. Well, we're going back to the start. Yeah, it keeps catching me off guard that the hitbox is just the sprite, but I guess it would kind of have to be. Because if it was less than Link's full height, just so that you don't get hit by, like, things that are, you know, at head level when you're, like, you know, walking into an Armos from beneath or something, or another enemy from beneath, then, like, you know, you could potentially just not get hit by anything by, like, standing, like, traveling at, like, this level, by standing, like, at about this level or so. Or something like that. And with the technology of the time, it probably would have been, if not necessarily impossible, but probably a little bit impractical to implement a hitbox that is, you know, that changes just depending on your position, and checks for whether you are, like, inside of a collision box or not. Right, I keep expecting that I can just press down to get to the second layer of my inventory, but that is not the case. Alright, thank you. Thank you. So, we are going to make it back up to full health, it seems like. But full health is only part of the battle, because we need rupees, because we need medicine, so that we can sustain our health. Sadly, while our letter entitles us to healthcare, it doesn't entitle us to free healthcare. Cave-dwelling old women are not necessarily that generous. At least not all the time. Moblins are pretty decent, if not necessarily ideal source of rupees. They're a better source of hearts and bombs, I think. Yeah, I think I've been sort of thinking about the fact that the magic rod isn't super strong. I think they're the magic like book or whatever that I believe makes it stronger. I don't know how much stronger necessarily. But, you know, any improvement is appreciated, for sure. There probably is a ideal enemy, or perhaps an ideal location to grind rupees, and maybe it might have just been, you know, the Pole's Voice room that we were in not too long ago. So we might head over that way. We're not too far off from being able to purchase life medicine. We're not too far off, but, you know, we've got to go up. Well, we don't necessarily need to, but we are going to go up that way anyway. So why not go up that way? And if we don't have enough rupees by the time we get there to purchase the medicine, we probably will, you know, not too long after we get up the mountain, but before we travel west. The graveyard's also probably a decent way, especially, I don't know if the Guinea is vulnerable to the magic rod. I guess I don't have any reason to believe that it wouldn't be, since I don't think we've successfully hit a Guinea with a magic rod yet. Or the magic rod projectile, perhaps I should say. Magic. Just the magic, I guess. Whoops. I do wonder if the magic rod has a hitbox, now that I think about it. Probably not, necessarily, because that's not the point of it. If it did, then, you know, it'd just be a slightly more consistent version of the sword that maybe deals less damage. Maybe it does more damage, actually. I don't necessarily know. Oop. Weren't quite quick enough on the draw to catch Zola there. I guess, yeah, Zola isn't vulnerable to the boomerang, and neither are the boulders, so nice. A nice shiny rupee for our troubles. Well, there we go. Whoops. Oh, nice. Yeah, it turns out sometimes the oddities of hitboxes in this game do work in our favor. Honestly, I feel like at this point we probably would be better served by just heading towards the medicine cellar. We'll probably get all the rupees we need by the time we're there. Case in point, I mean, I guess we're not fully there yet. Or at least not fully at the number of rupees that we need yet. But we can't cross that river with our ladder. Maybe the rapids are a bit too intense, and we just can't see it because of the limited sprite work. Sit. Not bad, not bad. I wonder if we can collect fairies with the magic rod projectile. Or, you know, just the magic. Rather. I guess magic can be a projectile. Pardon me. Oh dear. Yeah, I think... I'm not sure... No, I think this is the right way. I was gonna say, the medicine cellar might be higher up the mountain, but I don't think so. Think you can hide from me over there? Think again. Yeah, how did the manual describe Pias again? Didn't it call them, like, ghosts of plants or something? That's unusual, huh? I don't usually think of plants as something that can produce a ghost. Also, there doesn't seem to be anything particularly ghostly about them, but then again, the Pole's voices also aren't super ghostly in this game, and they are also described as ghosts. I think the Pole's voices do seem more ghost-like in the later games that they appear in. Oops. Alright, we cannot collect a fairy with the magic rod magic. Whoop. There we go. Yeah, I feel like the magic rod projectile travels slower than the arrows do, but I'm not sure about that. I can't say for certain one way or the other. There we go. I just barely wasn't overlapping with it enough. This isn't where we need to go. But yeah, I don't know. I might need to be a little bit more judicious with my potion usage going into the dungeon. Do we need to tussle with him? Maybe not. Probably not. Yeah, no real benefit for doing that, but you might as well, I guess. As much as I don't really want to do too much adventuring in here with less than full health, I'll take what I can get, really. If nothing else, it's more incentive to, you know, learn patterns and be able to counter the foul magics of the Wizrogues. Not to be confused with our own magic, which is perfectly fair and fine. Not foul in the slightest. Pardon again. It is very interesting, sort of how in a lot of sort of older, sort of 90s and 80s fantasy, and probably a lot before that too, the sort of story role of magic users was almost, or at least people who sort of specialize in magic, to the, especially if they don't have like a, you know, oh, this is bad. Okay, we do still have our shield. We do still have our magic shield. But yeah, especially if they, you know, aren't also wielders of swords and whatnot. A lot of the time, you know, just pure magic users are generally evil. I was going to, you know, point to Bowser as another example of that, or at least as an example of a evil magic user alongside Ganon. But I guess Bowser does use like hammers and stuff also in Super Mario Brothers. And, well, Bowser also, or not Bowser, Ganon uses a trident, which I guess, I don't know. I don't know if he, like, attacks with it in this game. Or, you know, uses it as a melee weapon, I should say. Or is what I mean to say, rather. Oh dear. Once again, we got a bit careless because we were talking too much about wizards. Too much about evil wizards. But yeah, I guess maybe there's sort of the cultural notion is that, like, you know, fighting without using your, like, strength is dishonorable, or something like that. Dishonorable or dishonest, and thus, not the sort of thing that a hero would do necessarily. At least not sort of in the cultural zeitgeist of this particular era of fantasy storytelling. Of course, not to say that there weren't also, you know, sort of evil warriors and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know, I feel like evil sorcerers are more common, at least, and being able to use magic effectively is, and extensively, is considered, generally more, overlaps more with, villainy than the ability to swing a sword effectively. You see a lot of games where, you know, you are just sort of a dude who has a sword, and maybe it's a magic sword, maybe it's not, but you're just sort of a person with a sword, and you use that sword to fight either a evil sorcerer of some kind, or a fellow warrior who is also evil, and has through some means acquired the ability to use magic. But yeah, not all that often where you are, you know, a wizard and you fight an evil warrior. Okay, yeah, we definitely... I don't know what I was expecting there. I guess I was just sort of I was expecting that the wizard would stop shooting at us at some point. But that was a very faulty assumption. Yeah, the blue wizrobes will continue to fire as long as you are within line of sight. You cannot rely on them to cease doing so at any point for any reason. But yeah, not a whole lot of games that I am aware of where you play as just sort of someone who has no, like, real combat skill and is purely reliant on magic, wherein you face someone who has no magic but has a lot of combat skill. There probably are examples out there, but I cannot think of any off the top of my head. At least, again, not in sort of the pre-2000s fantasy games or other fantasy media. Though granted, I'm not super familiar with non-game fantasy media of the pre-2000s era. But yeah, playing as someone who just uses magic and is not effective in sort of combat is, you know, something that is possible a lot more in, or is a lot more common, I guess, nowadays. Generally, it's, again, not usually something that is, the standard, I guess. It's usually more something that you can achieve if you decide to build a character that way in games that allow you to build characters. But it's never, or it's very rarely, even now, I feel like, very rare that you will play as a character who never has and never could or can develop any sort of martial skill, who has magic and who faces off against a evil person who does not have any magic but relies purely on martial skill. And, you know, I've mentioned it before, but we probably should use bombs a bit more. Bombs aren't amazing against blue wizrobes, but honestly they're kind of better against blue wizrobes than they are against the red wizrobes. We are getting pretty close to having enough rupees that we could buy another potion if we needed it. And I think once we are at that point, then I will be a little bit more sparing with our medicine. Whoops. Alright. I should also be maybe I could be more sparing with my medicine, but I definitely should be less sparing with allowing myself to get hit. Okay. I'm still sort of figuring out how to effectively deal with the blue wizards. I guess honestly, it's just as simple as get out of line of sight. Like, anything beyond that is an unnecessary abstraction. Just don't be where they're shooting when they shoot, and then you won't get shot. It's as simple as that. And of course, hitting them, when they are so intent on shooting you whenever you are within line of sight, is another matter. But that is a problem that can be solved by not approaching from the front, or at least if you are in the front, moving, and then approaching from a different angle. Yeah, I guess sort of after Super Mario Brothers, I've been sort of inclined to treat this game more as sort of a test of reflexes, but I guess there is a fair amount of sort of planning that may be not necessary. It may not be necessary, but it is like it makes things a lot easier. Alright, red wizards can be dispatched immediately with a bomb. That's nice. Well. Alright. But yeah, I don't know. I'm very reluctant to do anything that I feel like would be less than the fastest way to solve my ultimate problem, which is defeat blue wizards. Let's take that again, because I feel like I'm not expressing that thought very well. So, I want to defeat blue wizards. I want to get through this dungeon. I don't want to use my medicine until I'm confident that we can continue past, make it further into the dungeon by doing so. But by not using the medicine, we are dying repeatedly against blue wizards because we don't have very much health. And by dying against the wizards, we are, by dying against the wizards, we are spending a lot of time and making very little progress for the time that we invest. So while it might be, assuming that we could play perfectly, assuming that I could play perfectly, it might be better to save the potion for later. But thus far, I have demonstrated no ability to play perfectly. Oops. Alright, we've lost our big advantage now. Oh! Okay, so the bombs can still hit them when they're sort of, using their mastery of movement, as the manual put it. Oh, you can still hit them too, okay. Yeah, I thought they would just be totally invincible while they were flying around all willy-nilly. Alright, let's get out the boomerang so that we can deal with the light-legs efficiently and safely. Light-legs are very strong, or at least very durable. Oh dear. Alright, that's our magic shield gone, I think. Yeah. Alright, I'm reluctant to continue further into the dungeon, but we might as well, I guess. We can continue getting rupees, if nothing else. Plus, with the new information that we've gained about blue wizards, we can maybe tackle them a bit more confidently. Hmm. But yeah, I guess the easiest way I can think to put it is that I'm very into the idea of efficiency, that we can sort of, yeah, I'm, how do I put this? I try very hard to avoid doing things that I feel like could potentially lose us time. But sometimes I get so attached to those ideas I have about time saving. Yeah, there are secrets where fairies don't live. Alright, we have already established that, but thank you for your information. I don't suppose this is the way to get to the boss room, is it? No, it's not. Any of these need to be pushed? Probably not. Alright, that's not it either. Interesting, interesting. And I don't think there's been any point where the angle that you push the block from has meant anything. So I'm not inclined to believe that it matters now, suddenly, where it didn't before. Yeah. Yeah, I very strongly try to adhere to the idea, I guess, of conserving resources and time. But, sometimes I try to conserve one to the exception of others and end up spending a lot more time or a lot more resources without really achieving the results that, without achieving any results to really show for it. Because, yeah, it might, take a while to replace our potions, but it also takes a while to keep repeating the same few rooms of the dungeon because we keep dying. And actually, I was going to say that the bubbles don't hurt us, but I've just realized I don't know that that is true necessarily. Because I don't think we've ever encountered bubbles before getting the blue ring, which, can cause us to take damage but not have a visual sign of having done so. I really don't like the situation that I'm in right now. Alright, that room is not reversible. There's no blocks in here that we could push to unlock a sort of secret. We've been here and into that other room. I don't remember what's in that other room. Could this be an instance where the Armos at front really actually mean something, and they're the secret entrance that they usually hide? Do we have to come at this dungeon from another angle? Do we need to... Well, I was going to say, I think this is the room where we got the magic rod for the first time, but actually I don't think so. Oh, this is kind of bad. We've almost got enough to replace it, so I guess it's fine to use now. Actually, we can't hit the whiz ropes with the arrows, but we can hit the like-likes at least. Whoops. Ah, right. We aren't attacking because we've been cursed. This is all kinds of troublesome. Alright, we cannot stand against the magic. We cannot stand against the magic anymore. Oh dear. Yeah, haste makes waste, I guess. in short, to sum up all those sort of stray thoughts I was having about efficiency of materials and time, and how the way I was playing probably wasn't very efficient in either respect. Ah, okay, so yeah, this isn't the place where we got the magic rod. This is a different room. That's nice. I don't think keys have ever dropped something, so we probably shouldn't work under the assumption that they will. Alright. What are you gonna do? Take my shield? I guess we can't use our sword while we're cursed, but we can still use other items. I sure hope we don't encounter any Dodongos right now. That would be very bad. Yeah, sometimes the fastest way to do something is just to slow down a little bit. And, you know, work smarter, not harder. I don't like this Wizrobe room. I don't like any Wizrobe room. But especially not a Wizrobe room... Oh dear. Especially not a Wizrobe room that I'm locked in. But we know of how to get to the sort of other half of the dungeon, at least. We haven't quite ruled out the possibility... We haven't quite ruled out the possibility that one of the secret entrances will take us there, but I don't think that's something we can really rely on. But yeah. I definitely don't really want to go back in without the magic shield. Which puts me in a bit of a rough spot. Because yeah, we're going to have to, again, spend a lot of time getting a bunch of rupees to sort of, continue on. So I think we might just... Yeah, we might end a little bit early today. Because I guess I do have the, I have to go get my laundry and put it in the dryer pretty soon. And I absolutely cannot afford to delay that. Yeah, I cannot afford to delay that because I need to have, or I would like to have. I have cleaned... Most of my clothes are clean. But I do not have any, And I guess, you know, my clothes don't get super dirty because I don't spend a lot of time outside or doing physical work. So, I could be, I guess, excused for wearing a pair of pants multiple times without washing it. But I guess it's wet now, so I do need to dry it. I was just thinking about whether I could get away with wearing a pair of pants 2 days without washing it, but I guess I can't get away with wearing a pair of pants after putting it in the washer but not drying it. That is an interesting sort of thing, because, like, I absolutely, like, in all but the direst circumstances, refuse to, even in my own home, even if I'm not, like, leaving, wear a pair of, or an article of clothing multiple days in a row without washing it. But I have been assured by various people at various points that it is acceptable. At least with I don't know. Some people have said, you know, reassured me that yeah, you can wear pants multiple days in a row. And some people have sort of said things like, oh, you can, you know, wear your clothes multiple days in a row, you know, as long as you're not, you know, like sweating in them or getting them dirty or whatever. What is the general consensus on that? Because I am inclined to be very strongly in the camp of do not wear something more than once without washing it. but I realize that I very well could be an outlier. Because, yeah, I guess I don't know. You could make... An argument could be made. I don't necessarily want to make it seem like I am making this argument, personally, because I do not agree with it necessarily. I'm willing to be persuaded, I guess. But I don't necessarily... Yeah, I think we'll call it here. We will call it here, and this time I will actually, off-screen, get back the medicine and the shield and all that we have lost in our exploration, and we will continue on. And I also need to get a lot more bombs, huh? Yes. So, to continue the line of inquiry. But yeah, I am very much strongly in the camp of it's a little bit weird to wear an article of clothing multiple days in a row without washing it in between days. But on the other hand, like, it is not terribly unreasonable, I guess, if it is not stained and it does not smell bad, then I guess it's maybe okay. I feel terribly uncomfortable even broaching the idea in my mind. So, I don't know. One way or the other, though, my clothing is wet, and I do not intend to wear it when it's wet. So, anyway, that's a weird tangent that we just went on, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, so it's about time we wrapped up today. As established, today now was the stream, is the stream. I guess the stream isn't over yet, so it is the stream. It not was the stream. But yes, today, now, Friday, the stream started at 10 a.m. We won't have a stream at 10 p.m. That is not in the plan. Yes. So, Saturday, we do intend to have a stream at 10 a.m. and not 10 p.m. The two times were not switched around or anything. I make a really big deal about typos in the schedule. I guess it's bad that I do it consistently, that I consistently make this mistake. Oh, that's my timer going off. It's bad that I make this mistake consistently, I guess, but like, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't stress too much about it. I should just fix it and move on, and maybe not draw so much attention to it when it does happen. But yes, so, Legend of Zelda tomorrow, 10 a.m., be there or be triangle, I guess, because the Triforce is a triangle. Anyway, so, let's wrap things up. If anyone has any raid suggestions, as always, please feel free to drop them. Sit. But yeah, don't see any right now, so I think we might just go and raid Kongo VT. But yeah, Kongo Kokuretsu, an immortal ninja VTuber. But yeah, big inspiration to me. I am sure that you will enjoy him thoroughly. All right. So, the customary raid message is, of course, we have arrived. So, thank you all for being here today. I hope you have had a fine day. I hope that you'll continue to have a fine day, every day. And I hope that you'll be well until the next time I see you. Thank you all very much, and farewell.